Welcome back to Jungle Gap. As some of you are aware, in my 14.14 tier list video, I had Shyvana in S tier, essentially being the most OP jungle right now. And today I'm going to be showing you exactly how you can abuse the power of the dragon to climb. Like usual, we'll be reviewing a game I played during my climb to Challenger in depth, explaining all my thoughts and the fundamentals that I use. Additionally, I'll be revealing the specifics of Shyvana's identity and the mentality that you should have when playing her. Now, before we head into the review, I quickly want to run through some runes and builds. Currently, there are two rune pages I see people running: PTA when going full AP with Nash's, and Fleet when going the hybrid Shojin build. When you are solo AP and you're versing a lot of squishy champions, you want to be doing the full AP build with Nash's into Liandry's or Deathcap or Shadowflame, followed by Horizon Focus and Void Staff. If you're not solo AP and you're versing tankier champions, you want to run the hybrid build, which is Shojin into Liandry's, followed by Riftmaker and Crypto Bloom. I see many different builds after the first two core items, and even the runes seem to be preference, or depending on the enemy comp, so research and try some things out for yourself. What's up everyone, I'm Coach Leo, also known as Babip. I've been a professional jungler for the past 6 years, played at Worlds 4 times, and have plenty of coaching experience. If you're interested in fast-tracking your learning and achieving your desired rank, book a private coaching session or join the community by heading over to the Jungle Gap Discord, which will be in the description below. Okay, so jumping into the game now. The first thing I'm going to be saying and talking about is that if you've watched my videos before, we generally go through what I like to call a pre-game checklist. However, Shyvana specifically, we're going to be talking about her identity and how she's a little bit different than the usual checklist that we go through. You know, things like the jungle matchup and where you can get a kill is still, it's still important things to ask yourself. However, with Shyvana, you're kind of going to be doing the same thing every single game. It's a little bit like a formula. And the reason why I think Shyvana is so strong in low elo, not only is she, she kind of has a low skill ceiling in terms of the mechanics, but a big part of why she's so strong is because you don't have to think about all the other kind of factors and variables that a normal champion does, because your whole identity is what's good for me, farm, farm, farm. You're going to be the greediest champion, or, you're going to be the greediest player in the entire game. That's your whole idea. And the whole idea is to, you are going to make probably a lot of enemies with your teammates. So mute all is going to be your friend. But watching the game here, like usual, always trying to get a ward is going to be important. I'm thinking in this game, where can I get a kill? Okay, top lane is Jace versus Aatrox. Not something that really, stands out to me. Mid lane is Tristana versus Lucian. Something I should keep my eye on. However, bot lane, I have a Shaco. So often what I do as Shyvana is I'm generally looking to do whatever is best for me, despite whatever my team, is gonna go through, right? So something I really like doing is starting the Raptors. This just gives me the best kind of full clear possible. I'm thinking in this game, I do have a Jace versus an Aatrox, so I think giving him some early support is going to be better than playing around like my Shaco versus Janna. So, the great thing about doing the Raptor path with Shyvana is that after I do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. After I do this clear, I'm going to be wrapping back down to my Raptors and Krugs again. So this is just a very, very, very good early clear for farming junglers who don't really want to gank anywhere. Your whole mission is to put yourself first. The very, very important things as Shyvana in terms of the fundamentals is jungle tracking. So you can punish the enemy if they, make mistakes. And, here, maybe if I was Kindred or something, maybe I would go and gank bot here, right? But as Shyvana, it's actually more important that you focus on your clear speed. This is another reason why it's very good in low elo, because all you need to focus on is tracking the enemy jungle, knowing what camps he's done, making sure that your tempo is always very, very good. So these are probably the two main things that are important. And making sure you don't go for those ganks that are not just you walking into a lane getting a free kill. So here I skip the blue because I want the wolves and then the gromp to spawn together. And yeah, so the Raptor start is something I generally like to do a lot of the time, unless of course this game was like super volatile bot. Maybe I'll start the blue and just full clear down. but you're thinking about safety. You're thinking about getting your full clear off. You're thinking about whatever is best for you. So, as I'm clearing this blue here, I kind of just saw the Aatrox flashing top, and I noticed that he's low. If we go back quickly, we notice that, with that ward that I placed, right, I see the Lily here on Raptors, so I know that she's pathing down now. I have that information. I have her pretty much tracked for the first few rounds of the game, which is really, really important, because if she ever wastes time, I know exactly when her Raptors spawn. I know exactly where all her camps, when they're going to spawn. And this is one of the biggest things that you're going to need to think about when you play Shyvana is, if she wastes time, all I want to think about is taking her camps and getting stronger and stronger and consuming the map and consuming in the map. Now, this is the kind of gank that you can go for as Shyvana, right? The one where you can just, this is kind of my spare time, right? I am waiting for my Raptors to spawn at the 4-minute mark. So I definitely want to be back here at 4 minutes. However, I have some spare time here, right? So when I have this spare time, I can look for a free kill. It doesn't mean when I say, you want to focus on camps the most, doesn't mean that, your awareness is still, you're still going to want to be aware of these kind of little free pickups. However, if this was like a 50-50 gank, right, I would much rather just pretty much stay on the Scuttle Crab and wait for it to spawn and take it. So very important thing, when you take Raptors, right, and I see Lilia bot side here, she's on the bot crab. Very, very important that we always want to cross back to our Raptors. Now, what happens here? This is the kind of help that you can give a lane, right? I'm not looking to kill this Lucian here. My thought process is, I'm just going to back up my Tristana so Lucian can't kind of hit her back. If Lucian tries to hit Tristana back, I'm going to walk up and throw an E, right? So I'm giving my Tristana space to kind of win a good trade here. And when Lilia shows up, right, my champion is not, the strength of my champion is not really to early skirmish, although I can, pick up the free kills. My kit doesn't really allow me to have any kind of, early skirmishing power. So it would just be a waste of time trying to fight this, right? And all I'm concerned about is getting back to my camps. It's getting back to my Raptors and my Krogs and getting this amazing first round. So this is the type of first round that you want. This is a great example of a first round that you want. You want to do whatever's best for you. I pick up the free kill. That's always nice to get the free kill. And then I'm just doing my camps. I'm not wasting any extra time. I'm always thinking about my tempo here. Now, let's go back. We saw something bot side here. Very important information, right? What's this Lilia doing? This Lilia should already be basing going back to her Krugs, right? So this is a massive mistake from the Lilia. Now, should I run here and use this information to take this 3v3? Well, of course not. We want to use this advantage that she's just given us here. She's giving us something, a massive, massive advantage here, which is we know that she's now going to be late on her next clear. So how can we use this to our advantage? Let's see. On the next round, I'm going to take this. I'm going to use my smite. So I want it to be very fast. Don't conserve anything here. Because I don't have items yet, I want to use my smite now. So then when I get my items, of course I'm going to clear camps quicker when I have items, right? So use my smite here. Do this very quickly. Instantly base here. I'm basing and I'm covering the dive. If they dive, I'll cancel. If they don't dive, I'm never going to waste another second here. So now I'm pathing straight to what's my next camp that spawns. It's wolves, right? However, I know that where Lilia is going here, I know she's late, right? She's late to her top side spawns. So what does this mean? What does this open up for me? Thinking ahead of time, thinking 30 seconds in advance. I know that she's going top here. I can have that. I can play to that advantage. So this would be a time where, sneaking a dragon, right? I make sure, I don't get seen. This is kind of just, around this timing is when the scuttle kind of expires when you usually take it. I even see Lilia show top here. So what do? I take the free dragon. Obviously, she also has no idea. I mean, it looks like now that I know that they have a ward, but we watch this play out. I'm pinging. I'm making sure my team knows. I'm spam pinging. I know that there's an advantage here, even if Lucian comes to stop me. So this, these kinds of dragons, depending on, I think, what elo you play in. So going to my top camps here is very consistent, right? And I just clear down again. Very, very consistent. However, here, of course, is a better play because I'm playing off the fact that Lilia's top. Spam pinging my team. As soon as I see the Lucian walking in here, right, I'm making my team aware. I'm spam pinging. I'm communicating. I'm saying, come and help here. Okay, let's say, for example, your teammates don't help you here. Okay, this is very unfortunate. I think the Lucian being here is a higher elo thing as well. I don't think this is going to happen below Emerald unless you are on a ward. So when you do these kinds of dragons as well, it is good to have Sweeper or a pink ward. Obviously, I didn't have the ability to have either of those. But in my case, in this scenario, Simply all I do is I conserve my HP. I know that Lucian is here alone. My team collapses because I'm communicating well. We all see the Lucian and we go for the dragon finish. Now, if there's a fight here, you know, I'm not concerned about this fight, right? Whatever happens here, whatever happens. You know, they can be a distraction for all I care. And then as soon as I see the Lilia going to the bot side, I'm instantly thinking, okay, what can I take again? Okay, so I think that she's on Wolves Dinner. I think this is one of my mistakes of this game, which is kind of just weird. You will see now, I remember, you know, watching this previously, is that I think she's kind of on Wolves here. And I end up getting caught. I don't have flash. And very, very sad. I end up dying, right? And when these kinds of deaths happen, so this is something you're also going to have to practice as Shyvana, because these are the types of situations that you really want, okay? I'll go back again. I see the Lilia. It really looks like she's going to the Wolves here, right? Because I think that she's already cleared. In my mind, I think that she's done this, and then she tried to react to the dragon, right? So I'm thinking maybe this is up. It's always worth also checking camps. So either way here, I think she's on the bot side. So what do I want to do? I want to take this, this, and this. I want to eat all of this. I'm not trying to be involved in this fight that's happening. So this is how you want to think about Shyvana. You're thinking about Shyvana as consume the map of the resources. So I try and get this, I die, right? Very strange that she came back here. Maybe I ran over another ward. When you do these invades, you know, I even sweeped in. So, you know, make sure to sweep in as well. Sweeping in, okay, whatever, you die. So what do you do when you die in these situations? The most important question when you die, fundamentally, is you need to just ask yourself what's next. You know, try and not dwell on the mistake. Try and just ask yourself, what is next in the game, right? What can I do next? Think about what the next play is to get your mind off that mistake. Because if you kind of dwell on these mistakes, you're going to end up making another mistake. It's going to bleed into your next decision. So just, you know, I died, it's fine, whatever. What's next? Okay, so here I know that she's on grubs. However, the only thing I can do really is part down. If she takes my top side here, I'll try and go for a grub, you know, because she can't really take all of this, right? So I'm still going to part to top here. I'm going to part down into the bot side again. So simply, I'm just going to part down again. When these things happen as well, you know, when you're playing Shyvana, when you are weak in the early game, I don't know where Lucian is here, right? So I'm not just going to just do the Gromp because we don't know where Lilia is, question mark. We think Aatrox may be moving in as well, and Lucian's already missing from mid. So I'm playing a little bit carefully here. I'm looking at the map, you know, I'm using my awareness. Okay, she's taken the grubs. I'm walking back in. I'm still a little bit scared of this Lucian. As soon as the Lucian shows back, I go. So I don't, watching it again, I don't immediately just go to this Gromp because I'm scared of the Lilia and the Lucian. So playing it safe. You know, I make a mistake, but, you know, of course the game is not over one death. However, if I was tilted there from dying, or I was dwelling on the past, maybe I missed that bit of information that Lucian is roaming there, and maybe I die again. Then that's pretty like game devastating. The next fundamental coming up here, I remember, is, you know, whenever your mid lane is being the jungler and ganking a lane, again, what's my whole identity? What do I want to do? Do I want to run to this bot fight and get there late? No, I want to soak the map of the resources, okay? I want to take this wave. I think something, yeah, okay. Don't do this. I think this was some of my first games as Shyvana, so I was a little bit, you know, I was trolling a little bit. Don't ult. Okay, if you do ult, use your ult to kind of farm fast. But the whole point of that is take the mid wave when your mid lane is being the jungler. Very, very important. And so just back to my camps. Farm, farm, farm. Again, my mid lane is being the jungler. So what do I want to do? Farm the mid wave. This time I don't have ult to kind of ulti and troll. But you can see here how much more gold and XP I'm getting just for the fact that I'm realizing, okay, my mid is roaming here. I'm going to be the mid laner. I want to soak as much farm as possible. I don't really want to ever get involved in anything that's not farming or not just picking up a free kill on my spare tempo. I don't want to be involved in it. I just want to be the greediest ever. And then when I get to my two core item power spike, I'm just going to be unstoppable. And so that's essentially what the whole idea of playing Shyvana, that's what it is. You know, I'm still looking around. Doesn't look like anything's really happening. Lilia shows bot. Right? So when Lilia shows bot, what do I instantly do? What can I take? I'm looking, what can I take? Even if they weren't spawned here, I think even checking is good. I kind of have a rough idea that she's pathing down. So this spawns, I take it, of course. What can I take? She shows bot, I take something from her. There's a little roam timer here where me and Tristana are watching the top side. So it's okay if Lily gets the kill bot, as long as you're ready to say, okay, what can I trade instead? What can I trade back? Pick up a quick little free kill top. Immediately base here because I have my item. And then back to it, right? And so here I think I start pathing towards, you know, I make the decision out of base here that I actually want to path because the grubs are spawning. Let's see. Let's see when I press tab here. You know, into my thought process. What are we thinking about playing for here? We can path from top to bot, or we can path from bot to top. So here I press tab. The grubs are spawning in 40 seconds. The dragon's also spawning in 40 seconds. So, you know, I already have one dragon. And again, I'm prioritizing my golden XP over everything, right? So here I just prioritize the grubs just because it's, you know, compared to taking a dragon, it's less of a time investment. So I actually switch my pathing up here and I actually start pathing to top because I want to play for the grubs. However, something happens here. My mid lane gets solo killed. So that changes things, right? Now going up to the grubs is a little bit different. I decide, you know, I kind of adapt here. Still trying to just consume the map of farm, same thing. I'm waiting. So, you know, instead of going straight to the mid wave here, I quickly look to do a quick camp here. I'm not looking to do dragon here because I would just come back for this mid wave anyway. And, you know, this is what I mean by you're waiting for opportunities to present themselves. So let's go back. Our mid gets solo killed, right? Should we flash over this wall? Should we do something? You know, maybe I can flash over and kill him. Who cares, right? I'm still just doing my own thing. The entire game, I'm doing my own thing. I get spotted by a ward here. And the whole idea when I get this Lucian kill is I'm just waiting for opportunities, just like how I killed the Aatrox top. Same thing. This is the only time when I'll show myself and I'll try and make something happen when I can just do it for free, right? So whole idea of Shyvana, farm, 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 farm. Opportunity presents itself, take it. Now my Jace is spam pinging to fight the grubs here, you know? And, you know, I'm thinking, okay, why would I want to farm the grubs here? I've already used my ult. I'm just going to go take this dragon. So instantly, again, I'm deciding to do not the 50-50 play. You know, if me and Jace fight against Lilia Aatrox, you know, it's losing because Aatrox and Lilia, she has ult. Aatrox has ult. Jace is not really, you know, a champion. That's great. That's really strong in those kind of skirmishes. So I'm always looking to do, okay, can we match? Are we stronger? No. Okay, let me just go trade then. I'm going to go trade the dragon. So we trade the dragon here. Back to farming. I think here I didn't need to do my Krugs, right? It was close, so you do still want to try and do camps that are close, but I think straight after dragon there, I should have based, because as you can see, this is another mistake I make. Doing the Krugs here doesn't get me anything extra. I already had Sork boots. So basing there would have been a better idea. Running out of base. Every time you run out of base, look at lanes. Okay, even though we have this idea that we just want to farm, you're looking for those opportunities that are just free kills, right? So I'm watching here, right? This is kind of like my weak side timing. I'm looking to do my top side camps into the bot side. And I'm watching the Aatrox here. I'm watching him, you know, his body language and how he's playing. He's playing very aggressive. And so when you do have your ult, the reason why Shyvana is kind of a formula as well, right? You farm, you make a play with your ult. You farm, you make a play with your ult. And so my ult's coming up here. And the difference between this being, you know, a low percentage play or not is because I'm watching top before here. I'm watching with my camera. I'm watching this Aatrox. Watch. Look how he's playing. So his body language is showing me that this gank with my ult, with my flash, is very high percentage. So I'm watching it. Opportunity presents itself. I run into top side. I don't even need to ult. You know, Aatrox. Laners will, if you see the information of the laner playing like this. So if Aatrox was full HP playing very, very reserved, very safe, I wouldn't go for this. Of course. So that's the difference that you also need to see. That's a little bit of the skill of the opportunity assessment. Now Lilia shows mid, gets another kill. What am I looking to do? I'm looking to punish her by taking camps. I'm not running straight mid until the opportunity presents itself. I think that she may walk into me here, so I'm waiting for her again. Okay, she commits. Same thing as the Aatrox kill, same thing as the Lucian kill. Opportunity presents itself, you clean up. So farm, wait for opportunity, kill. Farm, wait for opportunity, kill. That's the whole formula, that's the whole process. And even if you're just farming the entire game, no opportunities are there, your team may flame you. That's where you make the enemies. That's where the mute all option is very, very strong. And so we get out and back to it, right? We don't instantly base here. We want to be really greedy. We want to keep farming. Another midwave. We farm it. Take it all. Be a little bit scared here. So I drop the pink. No one's here, so we continue the farm. And now the game is a little bit entering the mid game now, okay? So I'm going to be introducing some concepts here to help you understand how you want to play the mid game as Shyvana. This applies to other champions as well, but this is, specifically important to Shyvana, thinking about when we want to be really greedy and thinking about when we want to value tempo. So my entire team is spam pinging that we want to, contest the Rift Herald here. And, as we've been saying the entire game, this is where you still want to do kind of your own thing, right? And just because I was on the bot side here, I want to take these 3 camps. I value taking these 3 camps over running from Krugs to the Rift Herald and, flipping like a fight here, right? Here I'm also, playing with my Tristana pushing out the bot wave. So, I can use her pushing bot to try and contest the bot side camps. And you can see here, I'm saying, they're pinging top side, I'm pinging bot side. So, when you are really strong in the game, it is more likely that your teammates will follow your pings, but ping what you want. Ping what you want to do. Okay, so, and as you can see here, my goal is to just get the Gromp, but we see an opportunity present itself. So we see Lucian walking in here, a little bit of mechanics here, right? Wait for him to E before throwing your ult, because he's Lucian, he has an E, so a little bit of execution there. If I didn't wait, if I ulted straight away, he probably would have just lived. And this is exactly what we want. We want to be just farming all the time, right? And my team actually doesn't even listen to me here, right? No one's helping me take the blue. My bot lane, my Shaker, you're going to have teammates like this. Okay, whatever. We give it up. Okay, now everyone reacts and starts having a fight, but I lose my dragon form. I throw one thing and I instantly base here because, I value tempo so much. I let my team know here with some pings. I even ping my gold. I'm not interested in fighting things when I don't have my form, especially. I value getting straight to my top side. So I actually just got her Gromp here in the Lucian kill. Now I want to really get to my top side camp. So I'm thinking all the time, camps, tempo. And, so there's a little fight here that happens. Same thing again. I'm looking to go and hit a camp near where my team is playing. An opportunity presents itself, so I move off the camps and I go here. If my team was like hard losing this fight, I would just simply take my camps and full clear down. If I thought that this fight was bad, I would simply take my camps and full clear down. So I'm not looking to throw away my agency here. I'm going to keep composed. In this case, my team is, this fight looks good, even though I don't have dragon form, my team is winning. So I come here and I clean up a quick kill. Instantly, I'm looking for enemy camps, but her raptors are down. So I decide in this case to do the Rift Herald. So before, when I was on the Krugs here, I don't want to run here to do the Rift Herald. I want to just farm whatever's close to me. I want to farm this. I want to farm this. I want to kill, this Lucian and things like that. But here, because the Rift Herald is right next to me, I'm just going to do the Rift Herald now. Now, if you are lower elo, I would suggest just doing your full clear is actually better. So if you're under like Emerald, I think just doing your full clear here is better than doing the Rift Herald. However, if you're high elo, in high elo games, generally you can use the Rift Herald a bit better. I am kind of a Rift Herald hater because I just think, I think being on like my bot side camps already is better than spending a minute doing this. But anyway, I decided to do it in this game because I was just right next to it. It's not something I overly prioritize, especially when I have all my camps up. So now here, Dragon is spawning in like 20 seconds. I'm even the one pinging it. Spawning in 20 seconds. So, but however, my Varus is basing, right? And you want to try and squeeze in, clearing camps as much as you can. Because right now I know that they can't just one-shot the third dragon. The third dragon is very tanky. So I'm trying to also think about when I actually need to be somewhere. I don't really want to be the one that's like running around here doing loop-de-loops here. I always want to be hitting a camp. So I'm going to hit a camp. Then I'm going to see that my team is like getting vision of dragon. And then I'm going to run there and clean up. That's my mentality. My mentality is greed. I'm also syncing up my tempo with my Varus here because my Varus is based. So I just don't want to run here and walk around. I don't want to run here. I mean, I could think about doing my bot side camps, but, I want to also clear my top side first because after dragon, I could do my bot side. So I'm syncing my tempo here with Varus. You can see that now we've got some vision. I'm not the one really engaging. Here, in terms of, because I'm AP Shyvana, the way I play this team fight is I want to just be poking because I'm full AP. So in this case, I just ult straight away and I start poking. And you can see like how much damage I'm doing, why this pick is so OP, why you want to just play on your timings, because now the game's just unplayable for the enemy. I'm too strong. I'm level 12. You know, the Jinx is level 9. You know, I'm even 2 levels up on the Lilia just from how I've played all game. I'm just waiting for my time to strike. And now that's now. Now is the time where you have the impact in the game. And, you know, I'm making sure here that we play for the kills, right? I'm not instantly, watch my movement here, right? I'm cutting them off. I'm literally like shepherding them into my team. Instead of running straight back to the dragon, I'm looking for the max play. You know, I'm looking for the biggest play possible. So shepherd them in, we win the fight, we take the dragon. Now, very important thing here is that after you win a fight like this, you do not want to instantly autopilot back to your camps. Okay, this is the #1 mistake I see a lot of players make, even in high elo. You need to try and take when these are all dead, you need to take their side first. We need to work back to front. We need to take this tower, then we need to take these wolves, then we need to take this gromp, and then we can think about doing these camps, okay? And I'll tell you when you do want to think about overstaying for the camps and when you don't. So here, you know, even you see, I skipped the scuttle crab. So I'm literally wanting to work. This tower is the best thing I can get. So I'm going to take this first. Then the next thing that's the most risky as well. That's what you have to think. What's the thing that I have to take now while they're dead? What's closest to their base? The wolves and the tower. Okay. So let's watch. We take, okay, I ended up taking the gromp here. You know, it was just on the way. But then we end up taking the tower. My Tristana bases. You know, I'm looking to be greedy. So I'm taking the tower. I'm instantly ulting over the wall. This is how much I want to value farming. And here, okay, so the concept I'm going to introduce here is uptime and downtime. Okay, so when your team is basing, and this is also to do with a concept called tempo lines. So let's take a look at everyone's tempo lines here. Jace is on this tempo line. Tristana is on this tempo line. So Jace and Tristana now are on the same tempo, we can see. I'm on this tempo line, so I'm not on the same tempo as Tristana. She's a bit behind my tempo, okay? And these guys, I mean, Shaco is basing, so he's going to be very back here, okay? So these are all the tempo lines. You can see here that when your team is all on different tempo, you want to see this time as downtime, okay? And in downtime, you want to just farm your camps, or you want to match their tempo. So if I wanted to match their tempo here, after this scuttle, I would want to base, because I want to match my team's tempo. My team's tempo is here, and then these guys are also running out of base. So this is my team's tempo, because they're basing now, they're resetting. So right now, do I value being greedy, or do I value being greedy as in farming my camps and then waiting for my team to match my tempo line, right? So there's two options I have here: base with them and match their tempo, or be greedy and then don't base. I'm just going to overstay. So that's how I should be thinking. And I actually think I make a mistake here because I choose to be greedy, but I should have based because I value having an item. You know, I already have my Shadow Flame here, and I think I have like potentially my Medjai's as well. So here I shouldn't have valued being greedy. I think I tunneled on having Dragon Form and farming really quickly, right? But let's just say, for example, I have 1,000 gold here and I have nothing to base for. What you're going to want to do is farm the camps. Same way we were farming the topside camps until our team was on tempo for the dragon. It's the same thing here. If I have 1,000 gold here and I don't want to base, I value being greedy. So I'm just going to farm these camps until my team gets up to this line. Okay, when my team gets to this line on the map, you see this line here. When my team gets up to this line, let's say I take the red and the wolves and the raptors, and then I want to match with them here. And now when they're on this line, okay, when my team gets to this line, this is called uptime. This is when you cannot base anymore, and when you want to be playing with them, because if you're not playing with them, your teams will fight and they will die. Okay, so I make a mistake here, right? I base now, so I'm trying to do both. I'm trying to be greedy, and I'm not syncing my tempo with my team. So this is not what you want to do here. I should have just accepted the fact that I overstayed. So even though I have 2.3k here, I should not base. I should actually stay on the map here and play with my team's tempo line. So I should be the one kind of walking in here to the mid wave and to the top side, and I should be like kind of playing with my Tristana here. I should be looking to take camps that are closest to my team's tempo line. Now, it's kind of weird here because Jace and Lucian died. So it was a little bit acceptable of me to kind of mess up the tempo here, right? Because it's not like we're completely ready to go because, you know, the Jace did die, okay? So at least I'm syncing up my tempo with the Jace. But you can see here how your team is ready to go. And this is so often a time, right, when your team will be pushing this wave, and then dying here. And you're thinking like, oh, what's my team doing? But that was actually your fault. You should have been there to make the difference. So hopefully that makes sense about tempo lines. So, and we're also going to look at the down tempo as well. Okay. So I make a mistake here. I should have just stayed, even if I had 2.3k gold. I should be with them right now on this tempo line. You know, your Jace has TP anyway. Okay, he doesn't have TP. But I should be with them here. I should be with them. I should be taking Krugs. And when you're thinking about uptime, you want to be taking camps near the tempo line. So if their tempo line, you know, if all the tempo lines are unsynced, you want to be taking your camps and just downtime. When the tempo lines are synced like this, you want to be taking camps that are close to them because you want to be ready to fight. So let's look at as we play this game, we'll look at an example. So now we're all on tempo, right? So when we're all on tempo, look what happens. We fight over the topside camps. And you're so strong, so again, you just make the difference. So if I did this play when my team was like in base, obviously I'd just be trolling, right? So when it's uptime, you want to fight. When it's downtime, when your team's not on the same tempo lines, you want to just farm your camps and be greedy. And yeah, we'll try and find an example of the down tempo. I mean, we saw an example before, right? After we took the dragon and I stayed on the map doing these camps. That was an example of down tempo. But you'll see it throughout the mid game. It happens all the time. So again, the same thing happens. We win a fight. This is generally the time where you push out waves and you base with your team. So, you know, Tristana just based. Look again. Shaker is basing. Tristana is basing. Varus is staying. Okay, my team ends up staying with me here to farm camps. But you see now, okay, again, same situation. Your team is basing, right? So their tempo lines are going to be back here. And you want to be on tempo with them, right? So here you have to make the decision again. Do I value being greedy and farming the camps, or do I value being on the same tempo with them? If you don't base right now, you're not allowed to base when they get back on the map. So, you know, you're not allowed to base now when they get to here. This is troll. So I base with them. You know, I'm a little bit behind them. So you can think here, yes, I am being greedy. I am taking the wolves as well. They're all basing, but it's pretty, you know, you don't have to be exactly on. Taking the wolves is worth being like 5 seconds behind them. Okay. So this time I valued basing. I didn't value being greedy. Why did I not value being greedy? Well, there was nothing else I could really... I would have to run all the way here. And I would rather just buy, like... What did I buy here? How much did I have here? Yeah, I valued spending the 2k than just running for, like, one camp here. You know? Okay, so let's see. Right here, why am I not going to the Krugs here, right? Why am I not going to, like, the Gromp? Well, I want to try and... Look at the tempo lines. They're here, and my team is here. So these two tempo lines, I want to farm camps close to this. So I can farm the Gromp, because I'm close to, you know, my Jace. I can farm the Scuttle. I can farm the Raptor. So these are the camps you want to take. You do not want to take these camps, because you're not close to the top side, to where the fight may be. You want to take a camp, and then see this guy fighting top, and then run there. Right? This is how you want to play. So this is not downtime. This is called uptime. And, you know, Jace wins the 1v1, but I would have been there if he lost and I would have killed the Lucian anyway. That's the whole point of the uptime, being close to your teammates. And we take the dragon, the Baron, sorry. And again, see, now, this is called downtime now. Why is this called downtime? Because Tristana is dead, which is basically his tempo line is here. My Shaker's tempo line is here. My Jace's tempo line is here, and I'm here. So all of our tempos are not synced anymore. When you're not synced with your team, you base. I mean, sorry, when you're not synced with your team, you have down tempo, which is when you farm. So you want to make the most of these timers, okay? I don't base here because I couldn't buy anything. So now I'm just simply going to farm. And then, look, when they all get back on the map here, I'm not going to base, you see. So I don't want to base now, right? So this is a good example of downtime into uptime. So now it's uptime because all my team's tempo lines are coming up now, right? Everyone's ready to fight. This is how you can get a good idea of, oh, like, why can I never fight with my team? And of course, you know, people's tempo lines are always, especially in low elo, people have less knowledge of tempo, right? So the tempo lines are going to be all over the place all the time. But I'll give a scenario here, right? Let's just say, for example, we take the Baron. Okay, and now is a time where people should base because we're low HP, you know, we're down a member, you know, maybe Varus is like low and he has 2k gold or something like this, okay? If your team now, you know, I'll put myself in a low elo game, your team now is just randomly starts fighting here, okay? And all 5 of the enemy teams spawn and they all start running here and dying. This is where you don't want to play Uptime because you know it's going to be a bad fight. Okay, obviously if you're strong enough and you can fight again, you should fight again. However, when the fight is bad and you know it's bad, you just let them die. You let your team die here and you make sure that you can farm all the way. And then when they're dying here, this is also called downtime because they're dying, they're trolling, let them die, farm your camps. So that's a little like, example of if your team, because I've seen it, I see it a lot. When your team trolls, down tempo. When your team is overextending, down tempo. However, when your team is, all ready to go on the map here, right? This is a very, very important mid-game, concepts. When your team is ready to go, do not continue full clearing here. Do not continue this. You want to take camps near them, near their proximity, so you can react to the fight. So exactly like this, you can react to the fight. So this will make the difference in some games, closer games, not like this one. This one's pretty over now, but super, super important. And super important to you continuing to have a very high farm. Knowing when to farm in the mid game is something that a lot of players just don't know how to do. So hopefully I've explained it, in detail, the tempo lines, uptime and downtime. And when you want to value greeting and when you want to value tempo. And I think this is kind of the end of the game here. There's one more like little mechanical thing I want to say before the game ends. I don't think it ends here, but the game's pretty much over. When you're firing your fireball, you kind of want to, so I'll show you, I miss this, right? Because the way that the Shyvana E works in the dragon form is you don't want to have your cursor here. Okay, you want to have your cursor kind of more on the champion because you want the explosion. Because the projectile is much thinner, right, than the explosion. But the explosion's radius is huge. So yeah, that's a little tip about using Shyvana's E. You want to aim it so you get the explosion. And again, this is another, what would we call this? This is called down tempo because people are basing, people are dying. Everyone's tempo lines are all over the place here. So another example, if your team was starting to just randomly fight here under this tower, you already know it's bad. You already know that this is downtime. So what you're going to do in that time is farm dragon, farm Krugs, farm red, farm this. You're going to farm all the way until they're back on the map and you match their tempo line. So use your teammates inting instead of complaining about them inting. Just use it. Get stronger, get stronger, get stronger, and then they surrender. Thank you all for watching this video. I hope you're able to learn something and apply it in your own games. Leave a comment down below. I'll try and answer any questions as best as I can, and I'll see you all in the next one.